guys, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. If you're new here, thank you for coming to hang out. Tonight's video was a requested tutorial, and it's how to do a fill on the jelly tip system with just your builder gel. I will usually do two maximum fills on my jelly tips, only because I like to start fresh every once in a while, and 2 fills gets me usually like a month and a half out of each set of the jelly tips. And it's a good way to kind of like preserve your tips so you're not using them up constantly, and it's also a good way to kind of freshen up your nail. You can go back and shape it again a little bit. You can shorten it if you find that you need to do that. And you can also go and I find it's a lot easier to get a clean cuticle line on your dips when your tips are kind of fresh or filled. So that's a lot of the reasons why I will do it a few times. And it's nice when you're doing it at home because you can do a fill sooner than you typically would go and get them done at a salon, so you don't have to really wait until you've got a lot of grow out to make it like worth your money to go and sit down and get a fill. So I do it usually after a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks depending how busy I am. Right now I left them to grow out because I knew I wanted to do this tutorial for you guys. So this is about 2.5 weeks worth of growth. I've also dipped on these a bunch of times, and I've kind of beat them up. These were almond, and I filed them into stilettos. I dipped them a few times, and then I cut them down, and they are now coffin. So they are really my almond tips, but they were then stiletto. Now they're coffin, and you're gonna see how I do a fill on these. And I don't really have, like, this nail kind of still has a bit of dip on it because I filed it off. I didn't use peel base or anything this time. So it's got a bit of a hue on it that looks dirty, but it's not, I promise you it's not. It's a little bit of dip left over. I was testing some colors for the next collection that's coming up. Yeah, so they're not in the best shape, but I did leave them, and I kind of knew that they were getting beat up, and I was okay with that because I wanted them to look this way so that I could show you guys how to fix any lifting issues when you're doing your fill. But to be honest with you, considering how old these are, I don't have a whole lot of lifting going on. I mean, I've got a little bit at the cuticle mark where you kind of will always get lifting if you're going to get it. And that's mostly just like grow out. Like if you get close enough to your cuticle while you're applying it to begin with, once it grows out, you're inevitably going to get a little, corner of lift here and there. But I'll show you how to take care of it, how to re-sterilize the nail plate so that you don't have to worry about anything being underneath there and trapping moisture and all that stuff, because that's how you end up getting a greenie, and nobody likes dealing with that. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of a bit more of like a talky annoying tutorial. It's not going to be just like fun, it's going to be actual information. So if that's what you're here for, stick around. I'm going to flip down, no, that's a lie. I'm going to feed the kids dinner. Then I'm going to flip down and I'm going to show you guys how to prep your nail, how to use my Builder Bond to do a fill on your jelly tips, and I think that's it. I've got a big Mother's Day sale happening Sunday. I'm trying to get this filmed, edited, uploaded for Saturday afternoon. So if I manage to do that, we've got a big sale starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. There are, I believe, six, maybe 7 glitters that are retiring from the core collection, just so that I have enough space to bring in some new things, because I've got a lot of ideas floating around in my head. So those are going to be retiring, and they're going to be 50% off for Mother's Day. I also have a selection, I believe, of 6, again, maybe 7 solid colors that I'm marking down 20% off for Mother's Day, and it's also a 10% off all the gel liquids. Probably the only time, it is the only time that these are going to be on sale this year for sure. I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about maybe adding the dip liquids to the 10% off. I don't know. I'll take a look at inventory and see what I've got going on. If I have enough pre-filled and all that I can, rush them out the door with filling packages with a sale, I will add in the dip liquids for the 10% off sale. I'll let you know. if I decide to do it, I will post on the Facebook group, which I will link down below so that you can join it, because there's another little bit of a sneaky surprise for the sale in the Facebook group, and you'll only know about it if you're in the group. So join the group that I've got linked below, subscribe if you're not, and let's get into filling these, because yikes. Hey guys, okay, so what you're going to need to do a fill on your builder gel is like your cuticle pusher. Obviously everybody probably has one of these laying around. You need your base coat, because you are going to have to do a full base coat before you go back in with the builder, or else it will just lift off. And you also need your builder gel, the Builder Bond Extension Gel. Also, of course, a lamp to cure, and I'm using my Flash Me lamp because even at 3 watts I find it does an excellent job curing my gel products. And what else do you need for a fill? Oh, well, I mean, you need your e-file. Do you definitely need an e-file? No, probably not. Could you, like, I guess you could do one with a fill with a hand file, but it's gonna take you a really long time. So I would get an e-file. This is my Melody Susie Scarlet. Yeah, it's a Scarlet. I've been using it for over a year. I do my nails, not so much anymore, but I used to do my nails literally every single night. I was changing at least one hand, because I used to do, holy bejeez, my camera almost fell right on my face. I used to do ambassador work for a few different brands, and I used to be changing my nails constantly, just absolutely constantly. So this e-file has held up really, really well. I have absolutely no complaints about it. It's still whisper quiet. There's no vibration. It's amazing. And the bits that are helpful for doing a fill, at least for me, I use mostly this, I think they call it a pyramid bit. I don't know. I think that's what it's called. But it's just like a finely tapered triangle cone type shape. Okay. I also have 2 ball bits that I use. I use a bigger one. I do a lot of my like outside cuticle work with the bigger one, and then I use the smaller one sometimes if I have to get rid of lifting, because you can be very, very precise with it. Luckily with this set and with this Builder Bond, I don't have a heck of a lot of lifting going on, but I do have some grow out. I have edges that I want to clean up. I have a little bit of dip, lazy river left on this finger that I didn't completely get off. And yeah, you need to make it so that it's, you know, smooth here, so that your transition is nice and you can, you know, deal with your apex and all that stuff if you feel like doing that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put on my cone bit. I don't know what they're called. I'm going to put my cone bit on, and I'm going to clean up any of the lifting spots. So you can do this in a couple different ways. I used to use like this type of bit, and I would use just the very edge of it, and I would kind of go above just by a hair where the lifting was, and I would kind of file it away so that that lifting section would just pop off once you had enough of like a ridge there, kind of. But now, because I'm using the jelly tip system and my Builder Bond extension gel, and it really, really does hold these tips on very, very well. I don't get a lot of proper lifting. I just get the little bits at the cuticle that I want to clean up so that I don't get any moisture or anything stuck under there when I do a fill. So I'm going to put my drill at about, I don't know, 7,500 RPMs. That's what I like to start at. And I'm going to turn it on. I'm probably going to like speed through this after I do a tiny bit of explaining, because nobody wants to watch somebody drill their nails. It's boring. So I have this on the forward setting, and I'm going to turn it on. I don't use the foot pedal with my drill because I don't know, I'm not that skilled in using my feet and my hands at the same time. So to take away lifting, and I'm filming somewhere I don't usually, so it's very bizarre for me, I will just take my bit and I will go kind of back and forth so that I'm keeping the surface as even as possible so that I don't have a ton of evening out to do with my builder. And I'm not on my natural nail plate at all right now. This is all just on my gel. It might even be a bit of a clear layer that I put underneath my dips last time that I'm still going at. I got this drill bit off of Nail Couture, and I really like it. I haven't had a problem with the quality of it or anything like that. So yeah, I'm getting to where that little bit of lifting was by the cuticle. And again, I'm only on the gel tip or whatever clear dip was left on top of that at this point, because I'm not going to be roughing my natural nail up at all, because my gel base and the builder bond adheres really, really well to just a natural nail without any buffing. And I will sometimes go up I'm going to turn my RPMs up just a hair to maybe 8,000 to get the remainder of that lifting off. And you can kind of see it just as soon as you get to the point where it's coming away, it just kind of like flakes off. You can kind of see it there. It's like, can you see that? Yeah, you can. That's still attached, but it is the lifting bit coming away finally. And until you've done it a few times, like you sort of need to get a feel for it. You need to kind of get used to where you need to go at the lifting from, and you will get used to it. You'll see like, oh, it's, you know, the lifting is starting here, so I should really start my filing at this point so that it gets all of that lifting off. And it's just something that you'll get used to. It's always better to be safe than sorry, so never go at it too aggressively. It's always better if it just takes a little bit of time and you don't end up taking a gouge out of your natural nail or even out of your gel tip, because then you just make more work for yourself filling it in. So again, I'm trying to taper it down towards the cuticle so that it's pretty flush. And if I want to build an apex or slight apex or whatever the case is, I can do that with my builder gel, and I don't have to worry about doing a ton of filing after I've got the builder on and it's cured and filled. Tiny bit of lifting still there coming off. I am happy with that for the work done with the e-file. Where is my nail brush? There it is. Okay. So I'm just going to get rid of any dust on here. And you can, and I'm only showing you one finger because we could be here a while. You can see I don't have any of that like white lifting at the cuticle edge anymore. It's just, it tapers fairly smoothly to the cuticle. And again, once you get used to doing this, you can kind of to know where you want your apex to be, so you can sort of leave it a bit thicker there. You know, it should be in the bottom third of your nail to give it the strength that it needs. But also, if you don't have long nails, and I stress this a lot because I see a lot of people talking on the groups and forums and stuff saying like, oh, I need to build an apex, I need to build an apex. You don't actually, unless you have long nails, unless they are coming well past the free edge. You don't need to bother yourself with doing it. You might like the way that it looks, and it might give you the kind of aesthetic that you're looking for, and that's fine. But if you struggle with it, if it's something that you are finding is a bit of a pain in the butt to do every time, unless you have long nails, you don't need to do it. It is to build strength so that you're not snapping your tip off, the tip of your nail. So if it bothers you, if you're just doing it because you think that you're supposed to and you've got shorter nails, or you wear your nails shorter, because some people do, you don't need to build an apex unless your nail is long. Okay, I'm gonna get off that soapbox. And then at this point, after I have the lifting taken away, I will use my cuticle pusher and kind of just continue your nail prep as you normally would. I will occasionally use a cuticle softener, but because I have actually been keeping up with my cuticle oil recently, I don't find that I really need it. So my cuticles are pushing back pretty easily. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm not going like up underneath the skin fold there, because that skeeves me out. I can't stand watching people do that when they're prepping their cuticles and the cuticle tool disappears halfway to their first knuckle. It drives me crazy. I don't know, you know the way some people are afraid of holes and things on surfaces? What is that called? Trypto, I don't know, it's trypto something. Some people hate that. I don't like seeing things disappear under things. That's really weird. I shouldn't say stuff like that out loud. I should not say stuff like that. Okay, so I've got my cuticles pushed back, and this is what my ball bit is for. And I use the larger one because it is less likely to take a huge chunk out of your fingernail. And I will slow the RPMs on my drill down really, really slow. Like I'm gonna have it probably at 5,000-ish, between 4,000 and 5,000 RPMs. If you hear my children being crazy upstairs, it's because they're crazy. All right, and so then I take this ball bit and I just like to get rid of any excess skin that comes off easily around the cuticle with this bit. And this is just for nail prep. I do this before I do every dip as well. Just it makes it easier to get that cuticle line. My goodness, my kids are really going for it. They are living their best life. And they're in quarantine, not like because they've been exposed, just because we're still stuck in quarantine. So I can't really fault them for going wild in the house, because they can't go anywhere else and they can't see friends and whatever else is the case. And I'm sorry for that squeaking. It's my cord keeps getting caught on this lovely paper placemat that I have set up. Because again, I'm filming where I don't usually film. And I'm just evening things out here. All right. Okay, and what I do after this step, just make sure I don't have any like excess gel underneath. Sometimes when you do your jelly tip, it'll squish out a little bit in here, and that feeling drives me crazy. So I'll use this ball tip just to make sure everything under there is nice and smooth and normal feeling. So after this part, I will go, after I've done all my nails, I will go and I will wash my hands really, really well with soap and water. So I'm gonna go do that so that this finger is fresh and I can show you how to do the rest of this. But that's about it for prep. You know, get rid of lifting, push back the cuticles, make your cuticles prepared. And yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands. I will be right back. Okay guys, I am back. My finger is nice and clean. Focus. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Nice and clean, cuticle pushed back, cuticle, blasted off, it's gone. And I'm also noticing now, and I want to mention it because I apologize I don't know how long it's been going on. My daughter's room is above where I'm filming right now, and she has like a weird spa noise sound maker for her room. It's usually on white noise when she's sleeping, but she's listening to some like super soothing music right now. And I don't even hear it anymore because she plays it all the time. I don't know how long it's been playing. If it's been playing in the background this whole video, I deeply apologize. But it's quite soothing, so whatever. All right, so at this point, you want to use your prep liquid. I am using mine because of course I am. Mine doesn't have a label and it doesn't have the nice square lid on it because I just squirt a little bit into a bottle when I need it. That's the handy thing about having a nail dip and such business. So I am putting this on the natural nail, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit, and I'm also going to put it a little bit under.
Mommy?
Yes, child?
Can I please have a little piece of tape?
Two little pieces of tape.
Yeah.
Okay. For what? This is probably a very important project, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you building?
A little a little nursery.
A nursery. Great. Okay. Dynamite. I'll close the door for you. Okay. Delightful. All right. Sorry about that. My daughter just burst in. Anyways, so I hit the natural nail that is showing with that. I hit a little bit under here because the prep liquid is antifungal, antimicrobial, antiseptic, and it is a dehydrator. So give that a couple seconds to dehydrate and go in with my gel base and see if I can get this bad boy in the shot. I can, kind of. Let me just pull every bit of USB over. There we go. Great. Also, another cool thing about the Flash Me lamp, and I didn't mention this in the last one, you can take this base off entirely, and you can like lay it on its side if you want to. You could even, no, don't do that, but you could lay it on its side in case like you struggle with keeping your finger right underneath, because it might feel a little bit like you're cramped under there. But if you're just doing like a finger cure with either gel polish or doing a fill with the builder gel, you can, you don't have to like get right underneath there. You can just take the base off, lay it on its side, and press the cure and hold your finger here. So, just something to think about in case this feels, in case this feels a little bit like, if you've been like hitting your finger on things when you're putting it under there, whatever. I'm giving you options, okay? You've got options. All right, so that prep liquid is definitely dehydrated, everything it's going to at this point. So I will then take my gel base, and my gel base is, as I'm sure you have noticed if you have it, thicker than most gel bases. This is for two reasons. The first reason is, I know a lot of people like to do gel method. Let me just finish talking before I do this. I like to do gel method with their dip. A lot of the reason that I don't do gel method is because I found it took way too many coats to get the kind of color payoff I was looking for. And I found that with a thicker base, because I tested a bunch before I settled on what I was going to bring into the shop. I found with this thicker base, you get more powder adhesion, and you can also, it doesn't run into your cuticle lines, it doesn't run to the side of your nail, because with other gel bases I was finding that it was such a messy process doing the gel method, because it would go into your cuticles and it would be on your sidewalls and even underneath the tip of your nail, and that's annoying. So I was having to take like a little detail brush and dip it in alcohol and like go around my cuticles and here and there, and then I could cure it and then I could brush it off. But it was just adding an extra step, and I thought, well, if this base is thicker, it's going to hold more powder, and it's also not going to run all over the place. So it is thicker. I can tweak the formula a little bit. Let me know what you guys think of the thicker base. I've been getting positive feedback about it, but it was kind of a chance that I took when I decided on the formulation, because it's what I enjoy better. But if you guys don't, let me know, and we can thin it out. We can see what we can do, and we'll find a happy medium. Anyways, okay. Get your gel base after you have dehydrated and prepped your nail. And you are going to want to put it, of course, on the natural nail where you are filling with your builder, and go up to the cuticle, but not on the cuticle, and do a thin layer of this on the whole fingernail, because you are going to be putting builder gel on top of the whole nail, and the builder gel won't stick unless it's got gel base to stick to. So get it everywhere you want your builder gel to stick to. I'm doing this kind of sideways, so I have like two lights that are in my way, so I got a little bit on the sidewall, but thin layer over the whole nail and the cuticle area where you're trying to fill. You can see it's everywhere. And I'm going to do a 30-second cure in the Flash Me lamp. And I think holy heat spike. Whew. If you get heat spikes, which are very, very common with pretty much all gel products, just take your finger out for a few seconds and then put it back in. And if you find it's happening a lot, take your finger out and put it back in. Don't even give it the chance to get a heat spike. You might have to do 2 rounds of this 30-second cure doing it this way, but your finger won't feel like it's on fire, so I think that's worth it. And usually after it hits a certain level of curedness, it'll stop happening anyways. So like, yeah, this time I haven't had to remove my finger at all. And that is good enough for me. All done. All right, and now you want to leave the tacky layer on because the gel base does have a tacky layer. Don't take it off with alcohol or you're going to wonder why your builder gel is constantly lifting and coming off. It's because you took the tacky layer off. Leave it on. And then I'm going to get my Builder Bond extension gel and get a decent amount on there, but not like you don't want to glob it on. And then I am going to take and let's see if I can get my camera to actually focus on what I'm actually doing, which will be a miracle. So I like to kind of drop a bit of my builder gel down the center of my nail when I'm doing a fill. Can you see that? A little bit. And then I will take and push it back towards the cuticle. I find I get a smoother transition. It kind of builds your apex for you when you put the majority of it in the center of the nail to begin with. You're kind of moving it away from that part of the nail instead of trying to move things around and put more builder in the middle. You've got it there, you've got a big hunk of it there, and now all you need to do is move it around to the other parts of the nail that need it. And you kind of, with builder, you'll get used to it too, but you kind of float it around. And I'm actually really happy with that. And that was a fluke. I usually have to mess things around quite a few times before I'm happy with the shape, but I am quite happy with that shape so far. Can we see? Not really, because I'm the color of mayonnaise. So I'm going to cure this, and then I'm going to show you close up behind a dark background the shape of the nail. And yeah, my nails aren't super long right now. You can see they're just kind of just past the tip of my finger. He's like, so I'm not going nuts about the structure of my nail right now. I do want to have a bit of an apex in case I have any kind of like impact on them. I want them to have that bit of strength, but it doesn't need to be 100% perfect. I will double cure because I want this to be fully cured now. I will have a sip of beer. This is Rage and Love Sour Ale with pineapple, lychee, and ginger. Dynamite, dynamite. I got this from my friend Sarah Jane. Her boyfriend has a dad who is a beer rep for a bunch of craft breweries. My kids. Anyways, so this is the only one of these that I have. It's delicious. I'm enjoying every second of it. All right, we're done. So now I'm going to get a cotton pad. No cotton pad. This is not a lint-free wipe. I wish it was. It's not. I don't want to waste my lint-free wipes on taking off tacky layer. Rubbing alcohol, you can use, like if you are a polygel girl, you can use slip solution or, you know, whatever you want to use. I just have pure rubbing alcohol. And that's the tacky layer gone. My children are getting yelled at. Probably well deserved. They are crazy. But we love them very much. Okay. So, do I have something to put behind my hand to show you the shape of this? I have my giant bucket of clear that I leave sitting around for myself. So, here we go. This is my filled nail. There we go. So at this point, you can carry on and do whatever else you would do. You can do a straight gel polish on this. Of course, you want to lay down another layer of base gel and then do your polish, your gel polish. You can rough it up a little bit with your buffing block and do your dip process on top of it. But yeah, I mean, like, that is pretty simple for a fill. When I was doing fill with dip all the time, it got to be second nature and it was really, really fast, but it was way more time consuming than doing this. And this, I think it's really pretty because it's super shiny right from the get-go. And if I don't feel like dipping, if I don't feel like doing anything on my nails, I can leave it like this and it feels like my nails are still done because I've got that shine and I like it. So yeah, that is a fill with your jelly tips and the Builder Bond gel. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you want to know anything else about the jelly tip system. Let me know your thoughts on the base gel, the thickness of it. It was for a reason. I've been having positive feedback about it. If you do not have positive feedback about it, I want to know it because I want to keep you guys happy. I want to obviously be providing something that you want. So if you know, a ton of people are like, this is too thick, we don't like it, I will work with my supplier and I can get it thinned out a little bit. Hopefully we can find the happy medium where it is thicker than most base gels for the people that love the thick gel that I've got now, and it will be maybe a little bit thinner than what I've got now for the people who are used to a thinner base. But I will say, if you haven't tried a thicker gel base, definitely give it a try for the reasons that I mentioned earlier, and then let me know what you think. Just give it a shot. If you're like, ooh, I don't think I'm gonna like that, you might like it. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. This is the end of this video. I'm gonna get it up before the sale starts. So the 50% off the retiring glitters, you need a code. It is THXMAMA. For the 20% off the solid colors that are going to be on sale for Mother's Day, you do not need a code. For the 10% off gel liquids, you do not need a code. Unfortunately, you can't combine rewards and the Thanks Mama code, but they are heavily discounted glitters to begin with, so you can always just, you know, do some math in your head or put both codes in, either your discount code or your reward code or the Thanks Mama code, and see which one makes more sense for you, which one saves you more money, and then use that one. But unfortunately, yeah, the way Shopify is set up, you can't use more than one code at a time. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna go and finish my beer. I'm gonna put my kids to bed, and I'm going to start prepping more things for the sale. Thank you guys for hanging in. I hope you found this at least a little bit educational, and yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any other questions, any other tutorials you want. I'm happy to do it. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.